Hey, what's up, guys? So it's been a while. Um, I've been busy, and just life has always comes first, of course. And I just been chilling, going through life. But it feels like every day feels like a loop. Like I go to sleep, I wake up, get ready for school, get my stuff, brush my teeth, everything like that, and eat something small like a granola bar or something, and wait for the bus to pick me up. It picks me up, and get through my day and go back home. And I get home, I eat, and then go to my room. If I have time, I'll play on my console, or I'll just go to sleep, or wait for my dad and mom. Anything like that, but And through all that, I've been wanting to just pick up my laptop and record something for you guys. I haven't been recording much. Of course, the last couple videos have been it's just been me and you. Me and you, yes. I, it's just been me and you, just talking at that point. And, of course, I want to talk about more creepypastas. I want to share more creepypastas with you guys. I want to read more to you guys. And just most of my videos have just been trying to be different. And of course, I want to be different, but I'm doing it the wrong way, pretty much. I don't know what I'm talking about here, but I just want to say that I want to continue posting creepypasta since it is the easiest thing I can do. Because pretty much I'm just talking to you. I'm telling you stories, these creepypastas. And personally, I love creepypastas. They're pretty cool. And actually, a couple months ago, I did post my summer job, which is Five Nights at Freddy's creepypasta, and well, I never got to finish it. And I now want to remake the creepypasta. So I just want to do it again, do it better, and hope it just goes well. But I want to do it again, so I hope you guys enjoy. I'm gonna be doing this video because I want to, and also it's just better for me. But pretty much in this beginning part of the video, I just wanted to apologize to you guys of not being able to post since I've been more focused on my life. I just been more focused on my life and not really anything else. I just been more focused on my life, my grades, my everything pretty much. But I do want to get back into making creepy pastas. I feel like I don't know how to explain, but when I say making creepy pastas, I'm not actually making it, but But I have been making my own Five Nights at Freddy's inspired stories. Of course, they're not going to be turned into games. At least, I don't think so. Maybe somebody out there might hear this and might make a game out of it. But, hey, I guess that's what I guess if God wants that to happen, it's gonna happen, I guess. But today I'm not gonna be talking about what I have created. No. I just want to talk about. I just want to talk about Five Nights at Freddy's related stuff. I feel like I'm just rambling on. I feel like I should just go on. So yeah, I mean, right now I'm just trying to find a Five Nights at Freddy's creepy pasta. Actually, I was thinking of doing the hidden lore, but I kind of realized that somebody already did something like that. AKA my boy, or not my boy, but you know. But one of the best creepy pasta storytellers, I guess, is Mr. Creepy Pasta. Amazing man, you know, go subscribe to him. But, anyways, we're gonna just hop right into it, you know, because at this point I'm just rambling on. Alright, let's get to it. Everyone has a previous childhood memory they hold on to. It's not until you grow up when you realize those memories are truly nightmares. I had recently finished my final year at school and decided to enjoy my last summer vacation at my hometown. It sounded strange since college is where all the parties and fun summer events are held. Also, since this was the last time I could enjoy such events. But I've gotten a taste of it last year, and it's not my type of thing. My parents rarely used my childhood home anymore. They only used it in the beginning of each year for a month or two. So I decided to live there for the time being. My parents told me they were fine with it over a phone call, saying as long as I pay the bills, which I was fine with. I had been in my hometown for a year, so I lost my job as a grocery bagger. I decided to resort to newspaper ads since I was too lazy to go home or go drive around town or search online for one. I flipped through employment sections of the newspaper. Babysitter? No. Exterminator? Nah. Newspaper delivery? Nope. I did a good 5 minutes of scanning until I came across a rather interesting one. It was a job for one of my favorite childhood places, Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Freddy's was an amazing place that my mother took me to whenever my father wasn't in town or I just behaved long enough to get a special treat. Unfortunately, the job was for a night guard during the night. Not my ideal position, but I just couldn't turn down Freddy's. I immediately circled the ad with my pen and called the pizzeria. They said I could have the job without getting any interview. They just asked for my name, Mike Schmidt, and my age, 23. I was then told that I could start this fall, November to be exact. I was a little surprised. This fall, I began to rethink even working here, but I remembered all the cash I earned while at my job in college. I'd have enough money to get by a couple months before November. I decided to take the job. Yes, I cheered. Knowing now that I have a job at one of my favorite childhood places ever, and that job doesn't take up any of my time during my day. I then went upstairs to my old room to sleep, knowing I'd be alright this summer, coming winter. The next day, I decided to take a little tour at my old town. I did go walk down Main Street, went through the community park, and even past Freddy's. It was good to look at it. That place again. I didn't want to go inside because I'm not sure people would find it weird for a grown man with no kids to walk into a child's place of happiness. Basically, I'd look like a pedophile. While walking down one of the busiest streets in my town, I saw a newspaper article stating murder case of five children reopening. Is in bold lettering on top. I didn't want to take too long of a glance at it, but then I realized the picture to go along the title was Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. I was confused. I decided to take a copy and read it. Supposedly, a man dressed up like Freddy Fazbear and lured children away from their parents to kill them. I was shocked and disgusted with whoever would do this. The next couple months weren't eventful. None of my childhood friends returned home like I did. Even knowing I was here, I saw old relatives and my family thought about visiting me, but blew me off. Heck, I even went out on 2 dates with this beautiful girl who I realized was just using me to get back with her ex. I didn't really do anything special besides that. I just lied down on my couch watching movies and TV shows. Things went on and on. Like that. Until November came. November 8th, to be exact. It was my first day on the job. I had little money left, so it was good to finally start getting on an income again. Disclaimer, I'm going to be doing all nights in this one video. I forgot to mention that, but let's get back to it. Night 1. It was Monday night. I was about to head out to the pizzeria. I was a bit excited and worried at the same time. Excited because I was starting a new job at one of my favorite childhood spots. And worried because I would be there all night. I was planning on sleeping the whole day to rest up for the rest of the night. But I couldn't fall asleep. Oh well, I said to myself, not giving it too much thought. When I arrived at Freddy's, a man was waiting outside for me. "Hello, are you the owner here?" I asked. "Who wants to know?" he responded. "I'm Mike Schmidt, here for the night guard watch position," I said. "Oh, yes. How could I forget? Who else would be here at 12 a.m.? He chuckled. "Neighborhood watch," I added, laughing silently. "Are you the one who's going to be teaching me the basics?" I continued. "Nah, I'm just the owner. As you guessed, I'm here to give you a pair of keys to the place. Your mentor, left a message for you in the security office. Well, here you go." He handed me the keys Remember, your shift starts at 12 a.m. and doesn't end until 6 a.m. You got it? He asked, sounding a bit anxious. Yes, sir, of course, I replied. Oh, good. Well, good night, son. Don't mess this up, or else you're out, he said, walking towards his car. Good night, I called, but I don't think he heard me. I then opened the doors to the place. Fortunate he left it unlocked for me. Not that it's much of a deal if it wasn't, after all. I had the keys. I then looked around the place. A huge sense of nostalgia hit me like a ginormous wave. I then recalled sitting at the party tables with my mother and friends, eating pizza and watching Freddy and the band sing. I then looked to the stage. There they were, Freddy, Chica, and Bonnie. Oh, how nice it was to restate those names again. After I relived my childhood memories, I then scanned the rest of the building looking for the security office. My guess was that it was in the back of the building, which it was. I peeked in to see that there was no one in there. I walked into the room, somewhat annoyed by the sounds of the rotating fan. I thought I turned it off, but then I realized how warm the room was. I had no choice but to keep it running. I also noticed a little beep sounding going off every couple seconds. I located the sound to be a message machine. I pressed the play button and a voice came on. I was surprised and wondered, who was it? My mentor? Hello. Hey. I'm the old security guard at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Hopefully you are getting this message. I need to explain to you what to do now. I'm actually finishing my last week here now, as a matter of fact. That's why you're getting my job. I got my hours changed to 8 to 11:30 p.m. Since I didn't have to stay up late anymore. Sorry, that's your job now. Let me explain to you the basics so you can get through your first week now. On the tablet you're hopefully at, you should see, or table. Now, on the table you hopefully are at, you should see a tablet. I glanced over the table and saw that the man was right. There was a large tablet with a gray trim sitting on the table. I picked it up and turned it on. If you see it, turn it on. The first thing you should see is a camera view of the main show stage, along with a lot of different squared buttons on a map. Those squared buttons are actually all the security cameras that you need to check every now and then to make sure someone or something didn't break into this place. The map is actually a whole layout of Freddy Fazbear Pizza, so you can get a pretty good idea of where things are. Now, I know you are thinking, who in their right mind would sneak into a child's place of fun? People aren't the problem here. It's actually animatronics. You know, Freddy and his pals. I was confused. I tapped each camera, looking around if anything was in the building. There was not. No, there's nothing. What I mean, what I mean by that, he continued, is that the animatronics can get a little quirky at night. They are left in this sort of free roaming mode at night for some reason and walk around the whole building. They used to be able to walk around during the day too, but then there was the bite of 87. Yeah. I don't want to go too deep into that, but let me just say that it's a shocking thing that the human body can't live without the frontal lobe. I was getting a little creeped out, checking the cameras again to once more find nothing. I'm gonna move on now. Now, the characters here, when they see you, they will not recognize you as a person because it's nighttime. They'll actually see you as a naked endoskeleton without its costume on. And since that goes against the rules of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, they'll forcefully shove you into a Freddy Fazbear suit. Now, that wouldn't be so bad if the suits weren't filled with animatronic devices and cross beams and components, especially around the facial area. So, you can understand that that would cause a bit of discomfort and death. The only parts of your body that would, see the light of day again would be your eyeballs and teeth, which would pop out of the front of the mask. I was absolutely shocked now. I did not know what to do. I checked the cameras once more to see that Bonnie was no longer on the stage. I was filled with fear and anxiety while I checked the rest of the cams. Then I saw Bonnie standing in the audience area. I was so scared. Then I paid close attention to what the man said next. I just want you to know that there is really nothing to be worried about. It may sound scary, yeah, but really, you'll be fine. Now, let me explain to you what happens if a character gets too close to you. Next to you, there should be buttons for you on each door. One for each door. And also there should be buttons that also enable the door lights. I tested it out and he was right. The doors and lights would open and close and turn on and off on command. Once I checked the cameras to see Bonnie was in the right hall next to me, I was prepared to close the door if it came closer. Frequently check those lights if a character is not out there. Don't be worried at all. But if you ever do see a character close the door, as soon as they are gone, you can open them back up. Also, keep an eye on a specific character in Pirate's Cove. It seems to respond if the camera is on or off for too long. Just don't worry, you'll be fine. First day will be a breeze. Check those cameras. Oh yeah, and make sure to not run out of power. You only get a certain amount each night. Using all the appliances wastes more of it, so conserve it. Talk to you tomorrow night. Good night. The message ended and I checked my cameras. And sure enough, I had a power percentage. It said I have 80%. Wow! 20% gone in 5 minutes? It's because I left the screen on all this time. That might be a bad idea. What else he said? a character in Pirates Cove. I never remember that place as a kid. I then checked through the cameras until I found Pirates Cove. There was a curtain there, but it was closed. It took a good that as a good sign. I took that as a good sign. I then checked the hall where Bonnie was to see if she was there. I came to the conclusion that with a name like Bonnie, it must be a girl. She wasn't there. I checked the next cab closest to me to see that she wasn't there either. I was confused. She wouldn't just leave the area. I just decided to check those lights. Nothing on the right. I checked the left. To my disbelief, there was Bonnie staring at me. I smashed the door button so hard, as fast as I could. I possibly could. I was terrified, but then I realized that they weren't real people trying to hurt me. They were just robots. I calmed down. I pressed the door light to see if Bonnie's shadow or something was there. Nothing. Showing that Bonnie was there hesitantly. I opened the door. To my surprise, Bonnie wasn't there. The night went on pretty similarly to the Bonnie got close to me a couple times, and the curtain opened a little bit, but I saw nothing in there. Chica and Freddy stayed on the stage. Thankfully, I finished the night with 14% of power to spare. I overcame my fears of them trying to kill me and simply thought they were just trying to play. I left Freddy's and went home for the day. I was exhausted. Night 2. After I grabbed some dinner at McDonald's, I drove on over to Freddy's. This time, there was a vehicle just leaving. I didn't know who it was, and it wasn't the same car my boss had driven away last night. I shrugged it off. I got out my car. I unlocked the door and took a glance at the robots. They seemed to be looking at me, but I was facing head on with them. They were probably just left in that position. I head back into the security office and saw that once again, another message. I pressed play. Hello? Hello? Well, if you're hearing this, you made it. Day 2. Congrats. There's nothing really to say tonight. Then emphasize the use of your door lights. They are in fact blind spots in your camera view. And those blind spots happen to be right outside your doors. So just remember to check those frequently. Well, that's it. I'll talk to you tomorrow night. Good night. I took what he said into account and checked my door lights. Nothing. I then began to check the cameras. The gang was still on stage. I didn't move. I decided to check on the Pirates Cove place, and I saw the curtains was open far enough to see a figure in there. Some sort of dog? I wasn't sure. I switched off the cameras and I have a conserve power. I left them off for a solid minute, but I checked them again, and I saw the curtain was all the way open. In Pirate's Cove, the figure was standing just outside of it. I had a better view of it now. It appeared to be a fox. Quickly checked the main stage. Bonnie was gone, but Chica and Freddy were still there. I checked each camera and saw that Bonnie was once again on the audience area, just like last night. I checked Pirate's Cove again, and I saw that nothing was there. The curtain was wide open. The figure wasn't there. I checked each camera to Pirate's Cove until I got to the West Hall. I saw the fox sprinting down the hall. My body tensed up, and I was filled with pure fear. I slammed the door button quickly and harder than I did last night. I then heard banging on the door, as if someone wanted to get inside. After that, I heard footsteps walk away from it, as if it left just to be cautious. I checked the Pirate's Cove cam, and I saw the curtains close. I thought that meant that it returned. I opened the door back up, and I quickly checked the light both sides. To my surprise, Bonnie was outside my left-hand door. I hit the button again, filled with fear, waiting for Bonnie to leave. The night went on very similarly. The fox ran down the hall again, and Bonnie came closer to me a few times. Unfortunately, Chica and Freddy stayed on the stage, just like last night. Why they leave the stage like Bonnie? Why don't they leave like this, like Bonnie and Foxy? I wondered. I left the place when my shift was over, and I saw Bonnie back up on stage. I didn't want to even look in Pirate's Cove since I actually seen the bot in their move. I began thinking it was a strange occurrence. The way that these animatronics acted, I headed home and went to sleep. Night 3. This time I went to Freddy's a bit early, before my shift and after the other guard left. I didn't really want to wait until the middle of the night to arrive, which somewhat frightened me. I also got there while the owner was still there. I said hi to him, but he just gave me a as if he were saying hi or hey. I really don't want to talk. I sat in the security office playing games on my phone until its battery went out, which conveniently at 11:40 or 57 p.m. I completely forgot to check the message machine for my nightly messages. I don't know how it was possible to tune it. It was because my headphones that were barely even up. Anyways, I pressed play. Hello? Hello? Wow, you made it to night 3? Good work. Most people don't make it this far, you know? I mean, they move on to other things. I'm not implying that they're dead. Or just be silly. But, didn't mean that. I chuckled a bit when he said that. Now, I don't really want to talk that much, since Freddy and his pals become more active the further the week goes on. I should have told you that before I forgot. Sorry. Make sure you check those cameras while I talk, just to be safe. Alright? I began to check the cameras. Nothing. Everyone was in their proper spots. Also, here's a tip. I just came up with, well, an idea. If any of the animatronics see you and you can't close the door in time, just play dead. Go limp. They'll probably think you're like an empty costume. Then again, if you were an empty costume, they might just try to put an endoskeleton into you. Don't know how that would work. Yeah, scratch that. It's just best not to get caught. Alright, well done. Well, anyways, I'm done here. So, I'll see you on the flip side. Good night. The message ended and I checked the cameras. Again, they were out. West Hall, East Hall, Pirates Cove, every single camera was out. I was about to check on one of the cameras outside when I realized they turned back on. I checked the main stage and Chica was gone, not Bonnie. Chica was kind of surprised. Well, kind of surprised me. Bonnie was the first one to leave. Why not now? I began checking the cameras when I found Chica in the audience area, staring directly at me from behind the table. The way she was facing, I also think she wasn't towards me, but her face was chilling. And this chilled my bones too. Why were they staring directly at the cameras? Do they know I'm watching them? No. AI should not be able to know that. Right? The cameras went dark again, and I checked the door lights. There was nothing there. When I came back on, Bonnie was gone. Hopefully Freddy was still there. I checked Pirates Cove and the curtain was closed. I found both Bonnie and Chica in the opposite hall. Chica was in the east hall and Bonnie was in the west hall. This filled me up with a brim with fear, and I knew I was surrounded. There was nothing I could do. I checked the door lights. There was nothing on the left. I checked the right. There was Chica staring at me through the glass. I was startled at first, but then I stared at it for a couple seconds. I also saw it twitch, and I jumped for the door switch. That twitch was not something an AI could do. Well, they could twitch if they were broken, but not human-like, like Chica did. I checked the lights. Chica was still there. I checked the right, and there was Bonnie. I was more startled by Bonnie because I swear I saw his mouth open up and down, almost like he was eating. From the outside, this caused me to immediately hit the door, and I was surrounded more than I was when they were in the halls. I could not do absolutely nothing but pray. I didn't open the doors for the rest of the night. It caused to lose all my power just before 6. But my praying paid off. Nothing came to get me. I didn't leave the security office until the owner showed up because I was so scared. He didn't care and told me to leave because my shift was over. And I went home and I just watched movies. I couldn't find the courage to fall asleep, knowing that I have nightmares. I stayed awake straight till my next shift. Night 4. I got to the place at 11:15. As soon as I entered, I ran straight to the back of the building. I didn't have the bravery to look at those animatronics in the eyes. It sounded silly, but it was true. When I entered the office, it was very messy. There was some papers on the floor, the fan was flung across the room, and the camera screens had some cracks on it. Strange, I thought as I pressed the play button on the message machine. Hello. Wow, day 4, good job. The man sounded dull and not kinky. Or quirky, sorry. Quirky. That's my mistake. Like he is. Like he always is. But, anyways, I also heard a bang sounding bang in the message. I was beginning to get a little creeped out. Hey, I may not be around to send you another message. It's been a bad night here for me. I was beginning to wonder what exactly was going on, and I started getting a small sense of anxiety rising in my stomach. Hey, if you ever get the chance, can you check one of those suits in the back? I might be. The sound of a familiar tone cut him off. It was the tune that Freddy Fazbear always played, always used as a part of his act. Could Freddy be doing something with this man? Oh no, he finished. The message kept going as I heard the sound of the man and something or some other thing screaming, along with a very loud cracking sound. I was terrified, shocked, with fear. I could not move. What happened to him? Did he just die? That explained the place being a mess. But how did this happen? It sounded like something impossible. No computer program creation could act like that. Even if it was malfunctioning, I'd sat for an hour not looking at the cameras or door lights. I was terrified to do anything. What snapped me out of my daze was the sound of heavy footsteps approaching on the right. I didn't even check the door lights. I didn't look at the cameras. I ran out of the room to the right to face whatever thing was making the footsteps. I was confident, angry, and scared at the same time. As soon as I entered the east hall, those feelings left me, except for fear. There, looking straight at me, were a pair of white eyes. I just looked at it until it began moving forwards. It started laughing. It sounded like Freddy's laugh. Or it sounded like Freddy's voice. So there was no doubt that that's what I was facing, was Freddy. I ran back into the security office. As soon as I entered, I began hearing footsteps coming full speed after me. And the other door, I closed the door where Freddy was in the time. As soon as I was about to close the other door, I saw the fox. It was running straight for me, mouth open and tears all over it, revealing its innards. I pressed the door button right before it entered. its nose being less than a foot away from me. I sat and let the power drain. By 2 a.m. I was by 72. By 3, it was at 49. By 4, it was at 28. By 5:30, it was 12%. I don't know if I could survive. I began to not care. I was slipping away. One of my favorite childhood memories was turned into a nightmare. I woke to my boss shaking me. He told me it was 7 a.m. I needed to go home. There had been an accident. I asked, What? But he said I shouldn't worry and I should go home, get some rest. He appeared to not care and that I was sleeping on the job and just let me go without saying another word on the matter. I was leaving. I smelled this awful odor in the main stage area, and all the bots appeared to have red marks all over their eyes. I thought it was just my imagination because I do experience hallucinations from time to time, but a part of me was telling me that those marks were real. When I stepped outside, there was a police cars out there, and I saw policemen talking to the owner, the others writing down information. I also saw the car for a couple nights ago when I arrived on my shift parked in the parking lot. It had caution tape around it, which caused me to believe it belonged to my mentor. When I got home, I did all my research to find some info on the old night guard. After a good 2 hours, I came up across the name Todd Smith. I believe it could be the name of the man I'm looking for, but not sure. I thought about asking my boss his name tomorrow. For now, I just had to go get some sleep. Night 5. I didn't want to go to work at all. I was terrified, but I had no choice. I needed the money, and it was better be worth it. I arrived at the place and my boss was waiting outside for me. "Hello, sir," I greeted. "Shut your mouth," he replied. I was surprised. "Excuse me? Is there a problem?" I asked. "Yeah, there is." He began moving towards me. "That old security guard, the guy whose job you took, he's dead," he finished. You're kidding, right?" I asked. I knew he was dead. I just didn't want to believe it. "No, I ain't kidding. The funny thing is, you're the only person that could have been in there with him when it happened," he said. What are you saying?" I questioned. Oh, quit playing innocent. You know that you killed him. I have no evidence other than you being in there with him at the time of the incident. I'll find some evidence and you will be locked up," he finished. "Sir, I could tell you that I've never even met the person. I did not commit this crime," I replied. "Then who did it? An intruder? There was no signs of forced entry. The animatronics? Impossible." He didn't wait for me to finish. He stormed away to his car and drove away. I entered and sprinted to the security office. I want to just see those animatronics. It is not on the cameras, not anywhere else. I entered the office and saw that I had a message. I thought it was from my boss, so I pressed it. I was completely wrong. What I heard was a deep voice saying a bunch of gibberish along with a couple screens. The voice sounded a bit like Freddy's. It sounded like Freddy. And I'm not sure if it was. But with the way they've been acting, I'm not surprised that they lived this horrid message. I could not even figure out what he was saying, but it frightened me further. I immediately picked up the tablet and began checking the camera. Pirates Cove, those places are where those creatures originated. So, my safety bet was to watch those places carefully. The cameras then went dark. I then began hearing pots and pans shuffle around. This had made me tense up because I knew one of those things were making those noises. When the camera came back up, I checked everywhere for the animatronics. Freddy was still on stage, thankfully, but Bonnie and Chica were gone. The curtain in Pirates Cove was also halfway open. But that wasn't my main concern right now. I then located Bonnie and Chica. I found Bonnie at Camp 3, and she was just staring at me through the camera, her face up close enough that I could see her endoskeleton eyes. I began to scan around for Chica, but I couldn't find her. I checked the door lights. Chica was outside with her jaw wide open. I closed the door. I avoided her getting in as possible. I did that. I began hearing Freddy's tune play. I checked the cameras and saw Freddy in the audience area. I could only see those white eyes. I checked the lights and saw Chica was gone. So I checked the door lights and I saw Chica was gone. So I opened the door and I checked the cameras again. Bonnie and Chica were now standing on the opposite side of Freddy. I checked Pirates Cove. The curtains were wide open. I closed the door immediately, knowing soon that the fox would be here. I then checked the cameras and saw Bonnie next to the fox. Bonnie was with the fox. Its eyes were wide open, but it was limp. The camera went black. Freddy's tune then got slower and more demonic sounding. The camera came back on, and I saw that now Freddy and his whole gang was a limp. When the cameras came back on, I saw that now in front of the whole gang was a limp Freddy Fazbear suit. My apologies. With the eyes poking out of the suit in the front of the mask, and steams of red stains coming down the sockets. The camera went dark again, and the tune picked up. Speeding gradually. I began hearing footsteps close at every angle. I hit both doors as soon as I could. I then blacked out and woke up to banging on the door. I checked the time, 5:55 a.m. I checked those cameras and I saw each animatronic was at their respective spots. I thought my boss showed up early and I wanted to come in. So I opened the door. When I did, I saw the same Freddy Fazbear suit with the eyes poking out of the front. I was sure I could also see teeth, but I didn't look too close. The last thing I noticed was a bib on its chest. It was the same one as Chica's, only that it had dry blood over it. I ran away, I left the building, and I drove away as fast as I could. 2 days later, I received a letter in the mail with my check from Freddy's and your fire note. I didn't care. I wanted a different job now. I didn't want to spend another day in that place. I contacted the authorities and told them about what I experienced in that place. But they told me I should get some rest. Yeah, right. What happened in that place for kids was not right. There was something very wrong. I heard the place is scheduled to close down soon. But I have a grand reopening next year. All I know is whatever went on in there could not be achieved by an AI controlled suit. I saw that what I truly loved as a kid was all a big nightmarish lie. Well, that was the entire creepypasta. Sorry I messed up a few lines there. I did lose myself a little bit when I was reading, but this is a pretty cool story. I like it, and I should probably end the video here because this is about to be an hour-long video. Should we make it an hour long? I mean, we have like 3 minutes. Should we make the rest of this 3 minutes an hour long? That might be repetitive. Man, if only I was one of those, YouTubers that were able to make hour-long videos. I cannot imagine, making a video, sitting down, editing the video, and then making it an hour long. Like, you recorded an hour-long footage of content. I could not imagine. That would drive me insane. Yes, I am not planning to edit this video at all. So, yeah. But we're not going to make this an hour long because, I want you guys to enjoy your day. At this point, I'm just rambling on. But anyways, thank you guys so much for listening to the story. So, an experience. I love Five Nights at Freddy's. It's one of my favorite franchises ever. So, yeah. It's an experience to read it. Honestly, my favorite part of the story was, the boss, yelling at him, saying that you probably killed him, and everything like that. But, yeah. But, if you guys want to, go read it for yourself. It's just called My Summer Job at a Five Nights at Freddy's creepypasta. But anyways, this is about to be an hour long, but I'm going to quickly end the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you then.